Alright guys, we are here today. A lot of lag, but we are with the Miata Cup Series being organized by Touge Development. We got their race coming in through Tenify's Guys to Cars through the club section. We are going to be doing pacing for qualifying. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session, then we'll have a 30-lap race. And the rest of the field seemingly falling behind. And Tenify gets a little loose. He is the pace car driver today. You see Shive 21. A few interesting names in the field. Casino Losk and Magical Cat. Magical Cat is the winner of the rally event from this Spigot Grand Prix. And we're going to see the green flag come out in just a few short moments. So let's watch over from Shive. Green flag is out. And now it is qualifying. Oh. It's on me. That was my mistake. I do apologize. It's a couple seconds though. It should be fine. This car is now over the crest. So we can watch from Shive. Shive is we got 8 drivers today, I believe. Shive is an interesting driver and probably one of my takes as Arisnetta hits it into the hairpin. Shive runs all the way up to the wall and loses a couple positions in the doing of such. Losk Magical Cat now through the chicane and on to the exit. Performance engineer in the midst. It's rally drivers versus road course racer. And let's see who comes up on top this lap. Quick time goes to performance engineer. It is a sub-minute lap time. There's now with the purple sector 1. Although struggling a little bit on the other sectors. So far as things are going, is there any big improvements? Nothing this lap, though that could change. Complete drift from Magical Cat. Makes up the gap with Perf right there, out of the hairpin. And he screws up his shifting on the exit. That has costed a bit of speed. Perf side by side there, now it disappears. Goes quicker for another lap. As Losk will improve his own time. Arisnetta move into 4th place. Here's lag is not me, it's rather the drivers themselves. Magical Catch is using his handbrakes every opportunity he has. As performance gets purple sector 2. Arisnetta also looks to be in for a good lap. As Arisnetta goes quick time with a 57.70 and another 0. And Performance Engineer does improve up to a 58. But Arisnetta just completely outrunning him. Goes a little bit off track. Currently seeing all but 2 frames a second. We're going to post a stream over in Touge Development. As times go by, it's not any faster for her. Performance engineer, also not with much improvement. Magical Cat now finally under the 1 minute mark. This is honestly quite painful. Touge's got some good internet though, so yeah, I would say so. There's Netta en route for another quick lap, as Magical is currently purple on his second sector. But Eris is bound for another quick time. What lap time will she get? Does not improve. Performance engineer with a good looking lap. Magical Cat does improve, not enough. Performance engineer makes its way through. It makes a 56.297. So he goes back up on top. As performance engineer invalidates his lap, but it's 11.984 on sector 1. Gonna be watching from him for a little bit. Give me a little bit. I am gonna be right back. Just gonna let the audio play itself. Looks does improve to a sub-minute lap. Aersnet, actually, we'll focus. Aersnet at purple on sector 1. It's 11.439. There's a car that is not moving. So Aersnet drifts through the hairpin. Purple on sector 2. Will this be a perfect lap for Aersnetta? Or will she not come up on top? It's looking very good, using every inch she can possibly use. Aersnetta will improve, not enough, as somebody gets smited. Performance engineer moves up to 54 and looks incredibly fast on the front stretch. We're going to be watching from him. Another improved lap for Aersnetta, but it's not going to put her ahead of Performance Engineer with that 54-second lap. Two minutes left on the clock. Aersnetta making her way through and out of the hairpin onto the back straight. These A chassis cars seem to be very laggy today. There's not into the barriers. There's more than likely one lap to go for her. There's now the purple sector 3. She's got one more lap to go, and it is done before it even can get started. Perfect's at the pole. Is Magical Cat gonna do anything? Doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case. Although Swift's a little bit faster, you might be able to get by Magical. Just running a good lap around the carousel. Little Swift 26 does not have any improvement, but it could potentially make something up later on. His drivers are now finishing up their runs. And I think they might be doing a grid start. Which this would certainly be the first one. Alright. This is a 10 car field today. Alright. Where's the 9? Nine cars. Okay. Cars currently lining up. Alright, well, let's get into your grid. In P1, we have Performance Engineer. There's Netta to the outside in second place. In third place, we have Magical Cat. Fourth place, got a Losk in that black car. Shive 21 in fifth place as Chachi takes up sixth place. Seventh place being taken up by Natsuki, a Touge development driver. And or Kayuze. And then Jeffrey Paris will take over 8th place, and 9th is going to be taken over by Duend. I don't know how to pronounce that name. That's a funny name to pronounce. That should be good though. Raven apparently is about to start. Lights are black. Startup is coming up soon. We're testing over the lights. Shibe 21 hopping in and out of his car. Revving intensifies. Cars are prepping to get going, I believe, for this 30 lap feature. As fuel economy and air pollution tends to increase. I'm just joking. Alright. Well, performance engineer gonna hop out of his car. Okay, now they're checking if drivers are ready, so. Alright. Four cylinders go up, revving as high as they can go. Watch those lights. Lights start going up, filling up. Lights are all on, and now they are. Lights are out. Look at the fill as they make their way over to turn 1. And to the lead is performance engineer Aris Netta to his outside. Makes a move for the lead. As the whole field is now through, it's hard to see, spasming. As Aris Netta falls behind. Magical Cat towards the inside of Aris Netta. Alosk right behind. Alosk and Magical side by side. 2G Eagle drivers from the Rally Series. As there's a little bit of side-by-side action, I believe, between Shibe and somebody else back there. Meanwhile, Aris Netta back up towards the lead. Makes the move on him. Spins out on the hairpin, but makes the launch back up. Aris Netta gets a good launch back, as if she wasn't even stopped. But lost a little speed coming to the chicane as they now make their way out of the chicane on lap 1. That's what one whole complete lap looks like. As performance engineer just happens to go faster on the straight. By the end of the lap, Shibe 21 into the podium position. Gets by both of the rally drivers. As the lag pings intensify. Lag will get better as cars spread out. So far this field is spread out. We're going to look for battles if there's any going on. There's a car on the carousel that is unattended to. This could cause a caution if it is noticed. It is certainly there. I'm not sure how they organize their cautions, but there is an unattended car on the carousel. As drivers now making their way around, I believe we are now on lap 4. Good gap between first and second. Magical Cat back into the third. Lowe's not far behind. And there's Shibe 21. Is that Shibe 21? No. That white car could be Shibe 21's car, spun out. More likely rage quitted. Field now makes their way through the chicane. And it's a good-looking run, potentially, for that would be a Losk, I think, judging by the outfit. Aris Netta with a small collision to the wall. keeps up rolling, but it looks like now Magical Cat within fighting range of Arisneta. Arisneta now gets a little loose side by side into the carousel. It's both of them trying to drift out of it. Arisneta temporarily runs behind but gets loose. Now Magical Cat slides through until Arisneta gets ahead. The entire gap with Performance Engineer is just non-existent. I don't even know where. It's already up there. Wait. That is that? I think that is, yes. Couple turns completely separating Performance Engineer. I'm going to chase the leader for a few laps here. Increasing our speed. There's some drone camera footage essentially. Performance Engineer just goes by like he's completely still. Alright, looking over for Arisneta and her battle. Not sure where they are. Gonna watch from a good little height. And there she is, fighting side by side with Magical Cat for position. Now making their way into the front stretch. Arisneta getting the gap ahead of Magical Cat. Now make their way up the hill. Just a couple lap cars to filter through. As Arisneta side by side battling through it. Arisneta to the wall. And she has lost 2 spots there, I believe. Now it's between a Lusk and Magical Cat. And that was not a Lusk. We're now going to go back, watch from the camera. Shive has said they have disconnected. No caution was thrown out. Car exits to the pit lane. I believe that was Kayuzi. Meanwhile, the 2 rally drivers for second place nearly approaching action. Magical Cat going to stay ahead down the backstretch. Yeah, so it seems like the 2 of them are using their rally lines. Most other people have more docile lines, but these 2 have just been completely full sending it. And I mean, in a way, it's probably beneficial that they're rally car drivers over road course drivers, because these things tend to drive a little bit more like the rally cars than your typical GT car. They're road cars, just stock road cars. As Lusk takes back second place, I believe. The 2 of them are completely pinging through each other, so it's a little hard to tell. As Magical Cat still within reach, yellow flag waves in the air. As Koyuki is stuck on the pit lane, but I don't know why there's a caution throw for them, yet not one for Shibe. There's 2 cars. No pace car. Apparently there is no pace car. Well, I can see a pace car. There is a pace car. Yellow's out, but the 2 are still racing. Interesting. Probably should give him F3s. They're now being directed to pace themselves, as the field is Performance Engineer Lusk, Magical Cat, Eris Netta, and the rest of the field, Chachi, Jeffrey, and GLND, Kaizi, and Shibe are DNF'd. As Shibe appears to be removing the cars. It was pretty, I think about lap 4. Which, it's a bit painful for Shibe. He's been trying to get every race without DNF, but, second to last event, and it is a DNF. Actually, there's, well, of course, a time attack, but it's not exactly possible to DNF. It's purely a time attack. Phil makes her way through the hairpin in a slightly confuzzled manner. No laps seem to be reset. Is the green flag going to drop soon? Pace seems to be increasing a little bit, more than likely. Green flag out again. We are 1/3 into the race, and Arizona jumps the start into the front. Performance Engineer back to the lead. Arizona gets loose. She spins out, hits the wall, and it's got to make up a lot of ground. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Lusk running second place currently. Lusk with a long history of rally driving. Definitely one of my picks for today. Of course, Performance Engineer is not a bad driver either. So the same could be said for Magical Cat. Lusk 5 seconds down from Performance Engineer, 2 from his G Eagle teammate. but things have kind of tamed themselves out. Just watching to see how things go through the hairpin. And they seem to be relatively tame. I'm going to watch Performance Engineer for a little bit. In a battle, so we're going to watch Performance Engineer. There appears to be a car stuck on the edge of the hairpin. As that's timed by, not this lap, not next lap, actually the lap after that, we will be halfway done with the race. Arisnetta with the purple sector 1. Maybe you should be able to get to the quick times. And she's going down the backstretch into the chicane. And now making her way out. Maybe she might be able to take a quick time away from Perf. Certainly needs to depend on another caution. Does improve, but not enough. As Lusk is back with it on his teammate. This is some ion tier lag right here, folks. So I can separate the two. As Performance Engineer, another lap that is purple. Alright, well, Performance Engineer, he goes so fast on the straight and needs to downshift twice. I'm curious about these other two. Downshift once. It's interesting. Good looking. That's it there for Magical Cat. There's a car that is stuck on turn 1. There's no to oh, and a yellow flag is back out. Another race back for the drivers. Performance Engineer cruises his way back. Okay, it seems like they don't do race backs. They just race back into order. Well, it was a Lusk. We are over the halfway point. I forgot to mention that. Well, I am sorry, as the car teleports seemingly out of nowhere. More likely we'll be going back green with a few laps to go. There's 5 cars left in the field. One of them a lap down, the rest on the lead lap. Touge will file to the rear of the field. I wonder if he's going to be given his lap back or not. Laps are all set back. Everyone is going to be on the lead lap as there's only a few laps to go. Green flag remains close to dropping. With 12 laps to go on the green, we have Performance Engineer, we have Olosk, Magical Cat, Arizona in 4th. Green flag is out. And it's a good looking start on everyone's behalf. No real big jumps. Looks like a good restart on Aries though. Arizona already by. And on the hunt for Performance Engineer. Meanwhile, Magical Cat and Olosk still fighting for the podium. And that restart was exactly what Arizona needed in order to get a chance of winning this. Magical Cat going to get by for the time being. Arizona goes wide. As Magical Cat will go ahead. Olosk seemingly had a little bit of a bad exit. Meanwhile, Performance Engineer just completely far ahead. Side by side for second place between Arizona and Magical Cat. As Arizona gets back up front. At the back of the field, see if there's anything going up. Olosk has lost position to Touge, who was a lap down, but has done pretty well so far for himself this restart. Olosk is going to go back ahead. Meanwhile, Arizona in second place with a good looking run with Magical Cat. Dives to her inside, gets a move to get done. Arizona smacks the wall a little bit off of one. Has Magical Cat back into second place. Arizona though to the outside, off the club section into the carousel. Still trying everything she can to get by. Runs into the grass just for a brief bit, side by side, making their way over to the hairpin. As there's a bit of a crossover. Now into the hairpin, both of them drifting as much as they can. Arizona goes wide. Magical Cat gets through. Arizona carries more speed, but is further behind. Oh, and she's by Magical Cat for second place. See if there's anything in the chat. It is Oblide has joined the game. Arizona spins out onto the hairpin. Loses the position to Magical Cat. Oblide now, or Olosk now in range. Watch her for a little bit. Perfect, now about to overlap, I believe, Jeffrey Paris. As we're under 10 laps to go, they get loose and spin out. Arisnetta still with it, seemingly, with Magical Cat. She goes back into second place. Magical Cat with a good run on the inside, makes her way over around the inside through the carousel. Arisnetta is currently about a few car lengths behind, but coming closer through the hairpin, goes really wide. Magical Cat will hold second for the time being. Current deficient between first and second, currently 20 seconds. Arisnetta gets a good run off the chicane into the final set of S's. Side by side down the front stretch, but Arisnetta will reign supreme for just a moment, still trying to get through. As I'm currently unable to tell who is where. They're both really spiking a lot. Looks like Arisnetta is ahead. It seems to me like Aris gets faster on the straights, but he just cannot get away from Magical Cat. He is really good in the corners. Magical Cat with a good run into the hairpin. Arisnetta again going wide. Magical Cat now peeked up towards the inside, and Aris is through. He's going to try whatever he can to get by her. As there's 5 laps to go for Performance Engineer and everyone else behind. Arisnetta falls back for the time being, throws a slider into the hairpin, side by side, floors the second place spot down the backstretch between Magical Cat and Arisnetta. Arisnetta gets ahead. Magical Cat trying to do something, cuts it through the chicane onto the exit. Not enough speed to get by Aris though. And now through the front straight with 4 laps to go. Into turn 1. It's a good looking exit for Magical Cat. Aris is just a little bit tighter. Magical Cat dives it into the inside, now through the outside. Aris trying to hold him off. There's side by side once more into the carousel. Aris is going to peek out for a bit here, but it looks like it's a good run for Magical Cat. Gets some move for the time being. Arisnetta is still within range into the hairpin. Goes a lot wider. Arisnetta is going to probably carry more speed into the next turn. But for the time being, Magical Cat holds second. Aris, it's a little hard to tell what's going on, but it looks like the two of them are side by side into the front stretch. My, how good a valve this will be if this is for first. Both of them are just right on each other's ends. Arisnetta smacks the wall, turn 1, There's 3 laps to go. Ford Performance Engineer. As Arizona gets by Magical Cat like he's just completely standing still. I think that was a bad shift or something. Magical Cat still gets a really good run. It gets by Arizona on the outside of the carousel. Into the hairpin. Still side by side. Arizona is going to go wider than Magical Cat. Magical Cat really deep inside. Arizona carries more speed on the exit and will stay ahead down the backstretch into the chicane. For Performance Engineer, 2 laps to go. And it's a cut! Gigantic cut for Magical Cat. But it's not going to last long. Loses the spot. Two laps to go for the drivers. Let's move this down a bit. We know there's only 6 drivers. Magical Cat making a move potentially. Nope. Not yet. Arizona holds off a couple car lengths from Magical Cat through the carousel as they make their way into the hairpin. With 2 laps to go, and very soon 1 lap to go. Wi-Fi Performance Engineer airs taps a wall on the hairpin. I have a lag spike. I think I might be disconnecting. We are cleared. Performance Engineer through the club sector. As Arizona side by side down the front stretch. There's a 24-second difference between the two. Arizona will get back to second place with a little bit more to go as Performance Engineer makes his way down the hill. Arizona now side by side through the carousel. Well, actually that's Chachi. There's only a few more turns left for Performance Engineer, now making his way down the front stretch. Your winner is Performance Engineer, but not everything is done. Arizona down the backstretch. Magical Cat did not top the wall. Arizona had topped the wall. It's going to be a very close finish between the two of them for second place. Side by side down the chicane, and it's a cut from Magical Cat. Arizona with a solid run, still side by side down the last chicane. What is this cut by Magical? That is more than likely a penalty. Does finish ahead, but Arizona did not cut the last chicane. That was a rather interesting move. Losk makes his way up in 4th. Chachi in 5th. As Jeffrey Perez, last car to not finish. We'll watch him finish. We'll look briefly at that last little cut that was made. Cruising his way over and down. We'll look at that move made by Magical Cat. See, he's now lining up. It doesn't even look like he's trying to turn. Just completely cuts it through the final turn. I don't know if I don't know if there's much excuses for that type of move, but it is what it is. Oh, those are your finishing positions. With 1 hour to go till the time attack happens, they might do a podium. Oh, and he's stolen a drink. Some poor sportsmanship by Magical Cat. I believe he's taken the race winner's drink. Personally speaking, I don't think I'd exactly allow that move for him, but that is your podium. Yeah, I get the lag. That was some crazy lag. uh, but yeah, folks. Give your take on that. Do you think that Magic should be second, or should he be penalized? I'm gonna start a little poll. Well, if you are there is a poll. Whether, of course, this is not going to affect the actual race standings. I want to see the opinion of some of the viewers if this should be a penalty or not. Definitely some curious racing lines. That's for sure. I suppose these rally drivers will take any line they can when it comes to it. I believe that might just about settle this race, so we'll be back out in about a little bit under an hour, about, well, 58 minutes, so basically an hour from now. We'll be doing the time attack event, and then at 4 p.m. US PST, if it can be ran, we will be doing the Outlaw Kart race. By the way, there's some people wondering about the Miata race from yesterday. It did happen. It's just that I recorded myself because I was racing in it. That'll be uploaded probably sometime in between now and then. This is a good little intermission period. So, you know, for everyone to get a little bit of rest. And actually, for the developers of this, it is a lot of rest. The time attack doesn't really take anything. I believe they just insert their vehicles. And that will be exciting to watch for the sake of Track Alone's history. It won't be exactly a race. It'll just be the best driving you can see. So certainly something to look up to. I will be dropping a 800 horsepower ROTS mod, and I probably might be inviting some drivers to drive it. It will definitely not be record break worthy, but it might be able to get something out. So that should settle today for the Miatas. This is actually the last road course race of the weekend, so keep that in mind. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Have a good day if you're done, but if you want to stick around, there's more stuff coming up.